TikTok isn't just an app, it's everywhere. But try to follow the money behind it and the trail disappears. Everyone claims a piece of the app: China, America, billionaires, AI firms, even oil princes. Yet the truth is far murkier. So who is really pulling all the strings, and what do they stand to gain? On today's episode of The Infographics Show, we're untangling the global web of who actually owns TikTok. Most people think they know who is behind the video sharing platform, ByteDance, the Chinese tech giant. Except that story doesn't add up, not anymore. All roads used to lead to Beijing via some offshore companies, but now they're heading to Washington, D.C., Silicon Valley, and the Persian Gulf. The ownership behind the app looks nothing like it did in the early days. It all started with a showdown. In the early 2020s, the White House accused TikTok of being digital spyware, a backdoor for Beijing to farm data on unsuspecting users. And for once, both sides of Congress agreed. Either ByteDance sold the app to an American company or TikTok goes dark. The countdown had begun. But TikTok didn't disappear. The ban came and went, extensions were granted, and the world's most addictive algorithm kept on scrolling. That was until 2025, and one deal changed the app forever, and it was nothing like anyone expected. One of the first names that came up wasn't exactly a household name, but it is quietly involved in most of your online activities: Oracle. It's not as recognizable as Google or Meta, and it doesn't sell phones or run social media platforms, but its reach is massive. It builds the invisible stuff, the servers, the databases, the clouds, that keep the entire internet breathing. And now, somehow, it is sitting at the heart of TikTok's future. When the US forced ByteDance to sell up, everyone expected the new owner to be a tech giant, someone with a proven record in social media. Instead, the deal landed in the lap of Oracle, a company that prefers to stay out of the limelight, and that's why it made perfect sense. Oracle wasn't chasing clout, it was chasing control. Oracle is set to own a 50% stake in TikTok, enough to give it significant control over the company, and that wouldn't be anything new for Oracle. It has built its empire through a long history of acquisitions, and it's now one of the top 20 largest companies in the world. Oracle's main business is database software and cloud computing, meaning most people never interact with its products directly, the way they do with Apple or Microsoft. But behind the scenes, almost everyone has something powered by Oracle running on their devices. The company has a reputation for being the place you trust to keep your data safe, which makes it an ideal choice to own a company that has been criticized for leaking data, at least on the surface. Oracle is most known for the Oracle Database, the first product it launched back in 1977, and the only one turning a profit for more than 2 decades. That database became one of the most successful systems in corporate tech, powering everything from banking to defense. With that success, Oracle began swallowing up its competitors, expanding through massive acquisitions, even teaming up with Microsoft to challenge Google's cloud dominance. And it's all largely thanks to one man, Larry Ellison. One of Oracle's original founders, Ellison didn't build the code, he sold the vision. The company quickly learned his real talent wasn't programming, but persuasion. He turned Oracle into a giant through relentless acquisitions, outmaneuvering competitors until it quietly powered half of the corporate world. Today, Ellison still runs the show as executive chairman and chief technology officer, holding the largest stake in the company. He's famous for playing the long game, buying companies, islands, and now, potentially, a direct line to the world's most viral platform. When news broke of Oracle's TikTok deal, its stock price exploded, and so did Ellison's fortune. For a brief moment in September 2025, he was the richest man on earth, worth nearly $393 billion. But power moves like this aren't new for him. The man who once bought 98% of the Hawaiian island of Lanai now wants to own the algorithm shaping a generation. To most investors, Ellison looked like the perfect steward for TikTok, calm, calculated, and proven. But is that really the case? Ellison has largely stayed out of the public political scene, but his money speaks louder than words. He generously donates to politicians and initially supported both parties, but has since trended strongly toward one side, leading some people to say that this deal might be a quid pro quo. Ellison is largely seen as a ruthlessly pragmatic strategic executive who can be trusted to deliver what he promises in terms of products. He has stayed out of the headlines for negative reasons. At least he used to. Oracle has been involved in its share of scandals over the years, although they haven't reached the heights of the data controversies that have hit some of the others. In 2000, Oracle sent agents to dig through the trash of organizations involved in an antitrust case against its rival Microsoft, hoping to collect data. His defense was, it's not illegal to look in trash bins. Additionally, Oracle's claims to have created an unbreakable hack-proof software were tested by some of the best experts around and proven false if someone was sufficiently dedicated. Oracle defended itself by saying that that was a marketing gimmick, not an ironclad promise. And it wouldn't be the first time Oracle worked closely with the feds. Although Oracle was sued by Attorney General John Ashcroft in 2004, it would later partner with his lobbying group, and the company worked with the U.S. Air Force to develop a combat support system that didn't work out due to the government's software limitations. It also failed to successfully launch Oregon's healthcare exchange website in 2013, causing a breach of contract suit that Oracle settled. And over the years, it's been sued several times for surveillance violations and involvement with foreign countries. Like most big tech lawsuits, Oracle settles them for what's little more than pocket change for the company. So what would TikTok look like under this powerhouse? Oracle's priority when rebooting TikTok under its leadership would be likely to preserve what works, its incredibly addictive algorithm, but it would also look to improve moderation and be more transparent about how data is used. But that doesn't mean TikTok will stop collecting data. Every major tech company does it, using algorithms to track users and learn how to keep them hooked. The real difference now is where that data is. It'll likely stay in the United States, the main thing Washington was worried about all along. But Oracle wasn't acting alone in this takeover. Another shadow player emerged from the boardroom fog, one that prefers to move billions quietly: Silver Lake. Most people have never heard of the private equity firm, but they have definitely heard of what it owns. Silver Lake manages over $110 billion in assets and is currently number 12 on the list of the largest private equity firms in the world. Founded in 1999, one of their founders, David Rue, once served as an executive at Oracle. And one thing they know is technology. Silver Lake has poured billions into various companies in anticipation of future growth. This includes travel company Expedia, vacation rental empire Airbnb, and social media company Twitter. They have fingers in just about every pie, owning major portions of movie theater powerhouse AMC and healthcare service GoodRx. They even own minor league sports teams. But their biggest acquisition came the same month they were expected to be a part of the TikTok deal, the massive gaming company Electronic Arts. And this buying spree has some people worried. Silver Lake makes all sorts of investments, ranging from long-term gambits for shares in a rising company to total buyouts. But like all public equity firms, not every investment it makes works out. The company invested heavily in phone call service Skype, which was later acquired by Microsoft, only to be fully shut down in 2025. Silver Lake's presence in the deal makes some people wonder if TikTok will be around for the long haul, or if the company is essentially being prepped like a calf for slaughter. But some people aren't so sure. TikTok has some big advantages as an investment. For one thing, it has a massive built-in audience, over 1.5 billion viewers. More significantly, it's available in 41 languages and in countries around the world. That means that the US portion of the company is only a small percentage, albeit a significant one. Separating the two parts means that the US version will have a big cushion as it tries to figure out its new business model. An investment in the company will likely mean heavy dealings with powerhouses around the world. But Silver Lake isn't the only major investment firm looking for its piece of the pie, except this player belongs to a desert kingdom with more oil than tech, and it has ambitions to change that. MGX Fund Management Limited was founded only a year ago, but it already has made some big moves in one of the fastest growing tech sectors, artificial intelligence. It's just starting to make investments now, but it has a target goal of ultimately managing $100 billion in assets. Its involvement likely means the investment group plans to upgrade TikTok's algorithm with AI-driven features that can interact with the user and customize recommendations even further. But it's not the what that has people's attention, it's the where. MGX was founded in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates. This small country on the Arabian Peninsula is one of the world's top economic and tourism zones, seen as slightly more business-friendly and moderate than Saudi Arabia and Qatar, and it's all thanks to its huge store of oil wealth. And now it's looking to become a dominant figure in the tech world with MGX at the forefront. But its location also gives people some pause. The UAE might have made big strides in the last few years, but its government is still highly conservative, seen as unfriendly toward both women and LGBT individuals. Additionally, the country's come under fire for how its large population of foreign workers are treated, with many calling it modern-day slavery. The involvement of this new company in the TikTok deal has many wondering if the country's leadership will be calling the shots on content, and they may have a reason to be worried. MGX was created by the government of Abu Dhabi, It's an official state venture designed to boost the UAE's position in the global tech race. That means that if a decision comes down from MGX, it might come directly from the emirs themselves. However, those defending the investment say that not only is MGX only a minority investor, but the country has close and deepening relations with the US and other countries in the Middle East. The UAE and the US might not agree on everything, but they seem to understand each other perfectly when money is involved. But it's another investor that might be flying under the radar. This all started with ByteDance. While its meteoric rise was impressive, the software it used led many people to consider it more of a spyware company than anything else. Additionally, every company in China is heavily connected with the Chinese government, dating back to the country's communist era. That means that all of the data ByteDance collected would go right back to the CCP, with potential national security implications. But at least those days are over, right? ByteDance initially had a controlling share in TikTok, giving the United States very little leverage in how the company's algorithm affected its users. That is over now, as Oracle's 50% share combined with Silver Lake's investment will give the United States a firm majority in the stake of the company. But ByteDance isn't going anywhere. The deal means that ByteDance will maintain a 20% share in the company, making it one of the largest investors. This is key to allow the investment to pass muster with the Chinese government. So what does this mean for TikTok? In some ways, ByteDance's involvement is good news. After all, this is the company that built TikTok, and they understand the algorithm and its business model better than anyone else. As TikTok USA will have a duplicate of the original algorithm that it can customize, collaboration with ByteDance will be essential in the early going. This also ensures that this will not be an adversarial relationship, despite the controversial way this all played out. ByteDance's share means that if TikTok USA does very well, it will profit handsomely. But what about the silent hand in the room? ByteDance's close ties to the Chinese government continue to draw scrutiny. While Beijing may no longer dictate TikTok's policies directly, it will still retain an outsized degree of influence, especially through access to the vast data that fuels the platform's algorithm. That leads many people to ask, has anything really changed? The goal of the original legislation was to get China's influence out of social media, but this deal doesn't look like it achieves that. Rather, what it does is balance the playing field and give the US equal access. And as more people enter the fray, that might get even more complicated. There is no final roster of the investment deal just yet, but there is still likely room for other players. If Michael Dell gets involved, it'll likely create a comforting vibe of security to the whole deal. Dell is one of the oldest hands in the tech industry, being one of the kings of affordably priced home computers. He is trusted when it comes to tech infrastructure and security, and a partnership between him and Ellison could give many people more faith in the deal. Silver Lake has also previously invested in Dell, making this feel more like a natural partnership. But another one might make the deal even more controversial. Lachlan Murdoch, the son of media emperor Rupert Murdoch, is the current head of News Corp, which owns powerhouse outlets including Fox News and the New York Post. He's known for being a savvy salesman and marketer as well as a controversial firebrand. His investment in the deal would be seen as an indication that TikTok was looking to crack down on the misinformation and bias that people claim is plaguing the site. But others say this might be trading one problem for another. While the data mining was the primary concern with ByteDance's leadership of TikTok, misinformation was another huge concern. Videos racked up millions of hits despite being completely off base. Some were funny, like a viral claim that Vladimir Putin had discovered an ancient vault with accurate pictures of biblical figures. Others were more ominous, like a series of coordinated videos defending Osama bin Laden. But can the man behind Fox News be trusted to fix it? A Murdoch partnership with TikTok would almost certainly bring changes to moderation, with much of the most extreme or misleading content likely to be removed. But it could also echo the chaos surrounding the takeover of Twitter. Controversial figures reinstated, AI-driven moderation gone haywire, and users suspended. Still, Murdoch's share would probably be too small to give him any real control, only influence. Going forward, TikTok won't have one owner, it'll have a web of them. Everyone involved has a stake in the company, but few will have control. Oracle will be the guiding hand at the helm of the deal if it goes forward. The tech powerhouse will treat it as one of its many investments and aim to keep it stable and out of the headlines. It's likely the company would benefit from Oracle's proprietary security systems, making it easier to avoid data breaches and safeguard user data going forward. and for others, they'll be looking to keep the company going strong. Silver Lake has invested in many tech companies before and will likely be satisfied to keep its hands off as long as the company stays profitable. MGX, meanwhile, will likely exert a stronger hand as it pushes TikTok to embrace AI technology. But this might have been inevitable. Virtually every major tech company has added an AI element to its site. But what does the original parent want? China never wanted to sell TikTok, and they were ready to play hardball. When the company was initially banned in the US, everyone involved assumed there would be a speedy sale. But it didn't work out that way. China refused to entertain buyers and simply prepared to shut the site down in the US. This only lasted a day as the United States blinked first, but now it looks like they're ready to deal. This deal won't freeze China out completely, but it will involve ByteDance giving up control of its US division, which may be just fine with China. TikTok's algorithm may be tweaked and its content might be improved, but it's likely that China will still maintain access to the vast majority of the data that goes into the website. What that data includes will depend heavily on how Oracle adapts the software, but China clearly still views this as a valuable investment, and the US market is one of the largest in the world. The site is only likely to continue to grow as Gen Z and Gen Alpha continue their love affair with short-form video that caters to their attention span. And TikTok doesn't serve one master anymore, it serves many. That may be the best outcome possible. Every company involved has its own agenda for TikTok, but they all have one thing in common: the company needs to be financially successful. This means that everyone is incentivized to make the decisions that'll make a profit and keep the government off their back. And so the shadowy web of powerhouse companies is likely to play a huge role in what Americans watch going forward, which for many of these companies is nothing new. You know who owns TikTok, but the real danger isn't who's behind it, it's what it's doing to the next generation. Watch why brain rot will doom Gen Alpha to see how social media is reshaping young minds, or click on this video instead.